What's going on, everybody? My name is Lorenzo. You can call me Zo for short. Thank you for, checking out this video to hear what I got to say. This information is for men and women. But today, look, I want to talk about loyalty for both the man and the woman. Not really when it comes to each other. I'm not going to touch on that, but I'm just going to talk about friendship mainly. And loyalty in business and loyalty in general when it comes to dealing with people, right? So let's look at it from the man stand, loyalty between men. Okay, let's talk about that. It's important. It's very, very important. So when you look at times, ancient times, men would join together to go out and battle. They would join together to hunt, and basically, especially tribesmen, they would basically come together, join minds, and talk about the welfare of the village and the families and all that kind of stuff, right? Very, very important stuff. So in order for them to trust each other, because they're trusting each other with their lives, they're trusting each other with their families, their children, their wives, all that, right? They need to trust each other, man. And with that trust comes a heavy, heavy responsibility of one's integrity and what they believe in and their values. And in my opinion, especially when it comes between males and men, it is like a non-negotiable. Like, it is one of the biggest, most important things when it comes to human relationships, right? Which is the strength of the bond and relationship between men, right? I'm talking, you ever heard of the term, what is it? Be a man of your word? That's where it comes from. Because it literally has to do with life or death. It's survival when it comes to tribesmen. One single lie or one single backstab or whatever the case may be when it comes to that sense can be the destruction of a whole tribe. It can be the destruction of me fumbling my words hard, man. I've hardly slept. I'm on vacation right now, but it can literally destroy a village. It can destroy communities, right? When it comes to betrayal, lying, backstabbing through the spreading of rumors and shit like that. And it's something I'm very, very strict about and strong about, because I consider myself a very loyal person when it comes to men and my duty towards my fellow man, my friends, business people I do business with, and of course my family and everything like that. But when it comes to men, this is what we're talking about right now. It's important, man. Like, if I tell my boys I'm gonna do something, if I tell one of my friends I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? If I don't do it, I'm gonna say to him, "Hey, look, man. My bad. I forgot, or I'll get to it, or my bad. I've been busy, but I'll make it up to you." Because look, of course we can try to make promises. But sometimes we can't fulfill the promises. We got life, we got responsibilities and stuff like that. But that's okay. But that means that you can at least take a step back and tell the person, "Hey, my bad." You know what I'm saying? But I'll make it up to you. Simple as that. That's okay. You can do that as a man, right? Women are loyal in a different way. Women are loyal to the man that is protecting and providing for her. It's a survival thing. That's really big when it comes to the nature of women, because at the end of the day, they're looking after children, right? So it's not just them that they need to be strong about when it comes to their survival. It's also their children, another human being, another life form. So that's why a man has to be strict on his word, on his duty to protect and provide for the woman, and then she'll be loyal to you. You understand? So we'll definitely touch on the loyalties between men and women in another video. Men have to be loyal to their duty to protect and provide, and women have to be loyal to their man in terms of sexual exclusivity and support. You understand what I'm saying? And we'll touch on that another time, not in this video. But between men, and let's talk about females for a minute. Women, with their friends. You hear it all the time, you know what I'm saying? Women, fighting with each other and shit like that. And, people talk about like, oh, me and her had a bitch fight, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fallings out between women all the time. And I've heard hundreds of stories from women I've dated and, my woman currently and things like that, tell me about girls or ladies, women, whatever, that she just never could get along with, or there's ups and downs, right? So it's a big thing when it comes to that, because at the end of the day, women don't have to protect a tribe, right? Back in ancient times, once again, we're going back, but men do. Men have to protect tribes, villages, women and children. We have to protect them. Women just have to kind of protect themselves, and they usually look for a man to do that. That's in their nature, you know what I'm saying? So that's why when it comes to loyalty between friendships, it's more important between men. You know what I'm saying? For women, it's more like they have to be loyal to their man who's protecting, providing for them, not really to their girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? Women compete with one another, because they're trying to find the best mate to protect and provide for them, the strongest man, right? Now, let's talk about backstabbing real quick. I don't want this video to get too long because it's raining out here, you know what I'm saying? It's beautiful out here, but it's starting to rain a bit. It's gonna pour in a minute, I know it. But if ever there's a disagreement between men, it's very important for them to reach out to one another and settle it. They need to talk it out. Right? You can't have one guy assuming something about a friend of his, about a friend, and then just like not talking to him about it, and then ghosting him or whatever the case may be, or then talking to other people about him and spreading rumors and shit like that. He needs to like man up, and he needs to talk to his boy, talk to his friend. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, I was pissed off with you when you did this or when you said that. Talk to me about it. Why did you do that? Whatever the case may be. Let the guy, come clean, and give him his reasons. Or maybe there was a miscommunication somewhere down the line, or, you know what I mean? Don't just like not talk to him. That's a bitch move. That is female energy. That's very feminine to do that shit. You know what I mean? If I have a problem with one of my boys, I'm gonna talk to him first. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit him up, and I'm gonna talk to him, man to man. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, man, I'm about survival, man. I'm about being constructive. I'm not trying to like mess anybody over. You know what I mean? But yeah, and I care about my boys to the point where, I'll go to war for them. I'll battle with them. You know what I'm saying? We'll go hunt. We'll go fight. You know what I'm saying? We hunt together. We fight together, man. That's what being a man is about, right? Not about being jealous of one another or being envious and shit like that. Man, forget all that shit. That's fucking stupid. If my homeboy is doing his thing and he's making money and he's killing it, I'm gonna get some advice from him. I'm gonna say, hey, yo, let me know what you're doing so I can improve what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be jealous, or I'm not gonna hate on him or anything like that. Fuck being a hater, dog. That don't get you nowhere. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna close off this video because it's raining. But yeah, look, I hope you got some value from this. Being a man today is important. If you want to have, being a man about your word is so important. And when it comes to friendships, man, you know what I'm saying? Loyalty is a must between men. All right, hope you got some value from this. Definitely subscribe to the video, to my channel, like the video, show this video to your friends, man. And once again, I hope you got some value. Peace.